Okay, Shalom Aleichem Mishpacha. This is Matatya coming back to you with some information about emergency preparedness. Now, I talked about in my last video about storing food at home for emergency preparedness, food and water being most important. But this little informational / tutorial is going to be just a quick way to pack an emergency bag. Okay, and I have, as you can see here, this big backpack here. If you can see that, this big backpack, and it has wheels on it, because once this gets packed, it's gonna become pretty heavy. So it's a good thing to have wheels on it just in case. Okay. Alright, and also on my backpack I have a whistle, and this can be used for safety and alerting someone about your whereabouts if you need to do that, if your desire is to do that in emergency cases. Okay, now me and my sons by Benin, we took a little course last year in school, which we homeschool, but we took a course about emergency preparedness and survival. Actually, it was, the name of the course was Survival, and of course it was a course that we used. These particular books that I had purchased, I had looked at quite a bit of books in the library, checked books out and different things, and these are the two that I decided to get. Now this one is called the Outdoor Survival Handbook, and it has so much information that is crazy. I mean, things that you wouldn't even think that you could possibly do in the bush, in the wild, survival skills and whatnot for any type of weather. It's going to show you how you can survive. Okay, and this is my favorite, actually. This one right here, this little sweetheart right here, is the SAS, the SAS Survival Guide. Alright, and it is really, really good. I mean, it even has color pictures of foods, plant life or whatever that you can eat, and then it also shows you, hope I'm getting that on tape here on video, it also shows you the ones that you cannot eat. Alright, so it has a little poison symbol beside the ones you cannot eat. Also, they have insects and different things that you can eat and the ones you cannot eat. Snakes that are poisonous. They have a list of trees. Now they don't have the trees, the pictures of the trees, but they do have a list of the trees. Trees that you can eat for survival out in the bush. Okay, so these are the books that we use for our survival course that we took in our homeschool last year. These are good for you to keep in your survival bag. So this is going to go in the survival bag. We're going to call it an emergency survival bag or whatever you want to call it. Now you want to keep it in a plastic bag. I don't have it well packed here, but what I need to do is I need to seal it off with some tape, some duct tape. That's also going to go into our bag, and to always keep that sealed, because this is paper. So say if you're in the rain and whatnot, you don't want to destroy your books out in the bush, because that's important for you to refer to for your survival information. So these are going to go in your backpack. Okay, trying to keep my backdrop back here looking presentable. Okay, now, okay, so you got that there, and what you need to do is several things you need to consider whenever you're preparing for emergency purposes. Okay, first of all, can I find water? Okay, You need to learn how to build a fire. You need to learn how to find water. Okay? What are some of the things you need to do to find water? We learned in our survival course that you can watch the birds that fly in the air. And a certain way that they're flying, it tells you that they're flying to a water source. So this is what those books tell you about. Okay? Especially the little small one that I showed you. It tells you how to read the animal's behavior, especially the birds, and they will kind of show you where the sources of water are. Okay, but you also want to pack water in your survival bag just to make sure you have at least some type of water, some source of immediate water. Okay, now I have this little water container, thermos, I guess it's called. Well, not thermos, because thermos keeps things hot. This is a cooler, thank you, a little water cooler. And basically, I don't know what happened to my top. I'm gonna have to find my top. But what I had done is I used this for like a little food bucket. And so I'm gonna place my water in here. And I have some beans. You can get whatever you'd like, but I chose beans for my survival bag because it has both protein and nutrients and vitamins and stuff in it. Whereas I would have to pack like some green beans, you know, and some peanut butter and this and that and the other, when I can just pack beans. And also, as I thought about it, I might switch these beans out for the peanut butter. I did mention peanut butter in my last tutorial as a very nutritional snack that you can use for survival. Also, I have some pears here. Okay, and remember, whenever you're out in the bush, use all that you can as far as hydration is concerned. Now, this is heavy syrup in here, in these pears. Okay, but it's still a source of some type of hydration. Okay, especially if you don't know when the next time you're going to get some water. Okay, so that can go in there also. Also, I have some nuts. I have some nuts here, just in my pack. You can just buy a bag of nuts or a can of nuts, but make sure that they're unsalted, because you don't want to have too much salt in your in your survival foods. Okay, because salt is going to dehydrate you. You don't need to be dehydrated. You need to be rehydrated. Okay, now these are just some crackers that I put in some aluminum foil. Okay, salt-free crackers. Alright, that's going to go in my food bucket. Also some raisins. And the last time on my other video, my emergency preparedness, I talked about dried fruit and how whenever you eat dried fruit, you want to try to rehydrate it. But in emergency situations, you may not have that option. Okay? So these are good to have in your emergency food bucket. Now, I would have, you know, things like a spoon maybe. Okay, I put my spoon in here with it. And also, or any other type of utensil. And also, you want to have a handheld can opener. Okay, now this has a little lifter can opener. You can just kind of pop it open yourself, but not all cans have that. So you don't want to get out in the bush and try to figure out, okay, how am I going to open up this can? Believe me, if you're hungry enough, you'll find out how to open it. It won't be so easy, but it'll be easier if you just have one of these already packed. Okay, so I'm going to slide this in here some kind of way. I had it in here one way, and now, okay, it's in there. Alright, so I'm going to pack this in my bag. I'm going to put it in the large part here. If you can see that, I placed it in my bag in the large compartment back here. Okay, got my books up here in front so that they can be readily accessible. Okay, now this is a change of clothes. If you need to evacuate your home immediately, okay, you wanna be able to jump up and put some clothes on that you know that you're gonna be able to travel in safely, okay, clothes and shoes. But you also, within your backpack, you want to have an extra, you know, you want to have some extra clothes, underwear, socks, shirts, pants, whichever. Now, I don't wear pants on a regular basis. I wear, you know, dresses or robes or skirts, keftons and different things like that. But if I'm running and I'm evacuating, I may choose to pack a pair of pants, you know, just in case I need to hike a little bit. You know what I mean? So anyway, this goes in, and you want to have extra, maybe some extra garbage bags and stuff. And also, ladies, you want to consider packing some sanitary, you know, feminine things too, if you're, you know, still in that stage of your life. Okay, so I'm not. So anyway, that's something that is I guess one of those things that's a good thing for this particular situation. All right, but anyway, all right, now this compartment, as you can see, I slid that in the bag along with my food. Okay, so I got my food and clothes here. And also, your clothes works as shelter. Remember that, okay? Because you want to consider shelter. You want to know where water is. Okay, you want to know how to build a fire, and you want to know, you know, what are you going to do for shelter? Okay, should you get displaced from your home? Okay. Now, I've been in and out of this bag. Uh-oh, forgot my little nuts. I better throw in here. I've been in and out of this bag for so many reasons. So I really need to check up on it and make sure I got all that I need in the bag. Now, this is, I don't even know what this is. Yes, I do. It's a bike lock cable. It's what you lock your bike up with. Okay, now, you never know. These things will come in handy for some reason or other. That's why I put it in there. So whatever it'll come in handy for, I'm gonna use it. I've learned to survive, okay? But anyway, this is a sort of like a tube. It's sort of like a little tube. Actually, it came off of my son's nebulizer that he used to take breathing treatments with. But he no longer used the nebulizer, so I took the little pipes, okay, and that can be actually used for siphoning water. Okay, when you're out in the bush, you can siphon water from any type of water source with these little tubings. So that can go in my bag also. This is rope. Okay, now I know it don't look all that sturdy. I really need to do better, but you know what? My mom taught me to use what you got, baby. And so this is what I have. And it's, we actually use this, me and my sons. And I don't know why we didn't take pictures. But anyway, we made a little booklet or whatever with drawings in it. But we use this to create a shelter in our backyard and in the bushes in our backyard. Just to give us a feel of how it is to try to erect some shelter when you need to. Also, we used a piece of plastic. It wasn't a very big piece of plastic. I thought it was bigger, but it ended up being smaller. But we really put our heads together, and we got that plastic up where it could house all three of us, me and my sons, if needed be, overnight. Okay, so you're really gonna have to use some ideas and creativity whenever you're learning how to survive in the wild. Okay, now this is in a little emergency blanket. You can pick it up. This was, you know, picked up at a little department store. And it's what is this thing? You know, it's those little mylar. I think that's what it's called. That little mylar material. Okay. And what it does is it can keep you warm whenever you're out in the cold and whatnot. And as you can see, the little lady on the front, if you can see that well, she's wrapped up in it. Okay. So if you ever become, you know, you're ever outside and you don't have shelter, you're cold, this is a little mylar blanket that you can wrap around you, so to speak. It feels like plastic. It's almost like those balloons, you know, that the cute little balloons that they're not latex, but they're kind of the little foil looking balloons. Okay, and that's what is made out of this particular material. So that's a good thing to have in your survival backpack as well. Also, you can get a torp. I mentioned some plastic that we use to erect the shelter, but you can get one of those big blue torps, and you can use that with some string or rope to make yourself a little tent. Alright. Okay, so other things that I have here is duct tape. Listen, everybody know they're going to need some duct tape. So always have that duct tape in your bag. You know, you're going to use it for something. Now, this is popsicle sticks. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but guess what? They're going to go in this bag. Alright, because you never know. Now, this is really good to have some candles. You want to have some candles in your bag because there are several things that you can use candles for. I'm going to go real quick over this. I didn't want this to be too long. But this is sort of like a bag that you can use for your first aid kit. Alright? And this bag can go on your hip, excuse me, or your belt. Alright? And here's an inhaler, okay? Extra inhaler in there for those who may have asthma and whatnot. And some other types of medicines, okay? First aid things, hand sanitizer, bandages, okay? That I have to replace because we've gone in here and taken things out. You always want to make sure if you're taking things out that you're replacing them in your bag. Okay, so you can already see that I've taken some things out of here that I definitely need to replace. But I'm just doing this video not to say that I'm perfect or anything or what I'm doing, but I'm trying to show you that, hey, we need to do this. We need to be prepared. This is something you ought to do anyway, especially because of the times that we are in. Alright, this is salt. You know, I talked about salt not being something that you just necessarily want on a regular basis, but you always need a source of salt because the iodine is good for you to help you stay healthy. And you're definitely going to need to stay healthy if you're out in the bush or in the wild trying to survive. Maybe you had to evacuate your house or whatever. Okay? In this little case here, if you can see, I have placed some matches in little Ziploc bags. Okay? To keep them dry so that they don't get wet. Also, you can take your matches out and dip them in wax. Okay? Melted wax. Okay? And that will seal it. And that will also protect it from, make them waterproof and protect it. I have a knife here. And I got to get a better knife. My son's always fussing about how pitiful our survival knives are. So we're going to get a better knife, of course. And this is like a little striker. This is a fire striker. And this is helpful to try to build you a little fire, as you can see. you kind of do it like that. Did you see those sparks right there? Okay, I don't want to burn anything down in here. Okay. Oh, got to learn how to use my knife. You should have saw us out in the bush trying to survive. Really, we weren't trying to survive. We were just pretending, you know, practicing and all that. But it was fun, and it really opened our eyes to how unprepared we are to survive. And believe me, it's no joke. Whenever you need to learn when you need to learn this stuff, or when you need to use this stuff, you need to have already prepared. Believe me, it really kind of opened our eyes, and then as soon as we finished the course, we forgot about it again. But serious, guys, it's something we need to know. I have some scissors. I have a magnifying glass that is helpful in building a fire, and the books that I shared with you, all of that, it goes over all of this stuff that you're going to use these items for. Okay, it's really thorough in that sense. Okay. And I have some thread and a little sewing kit. All sorts of things. So my battery is running down on me, so I'm going to stop right now so I can recharge it. And so these are just some ideas that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to put this back inside my little tackle bag. I guess that's what you call it. Okay. And remember now, I'm not some G.I. Joe or some bushman, okay? I'm just a little homeschool mom, a little housewife that is knowledgeable about the things that's going on in the world and how unstable our society is. So we need to prepare. So thank you. Like I said, this is my little tutorial. And as you can see, this is my emergency bag that I have placed everything in. So thank you. Bye bye.